Assalamu alaikum. Now, this session is for general cashiers because there is one separate general cashiering module also available, especially designed for the support of the general cashiering for the routine, for the handling of the routine petty cash of the hotel, which are being served against the routine expenses. So, in the general cashier module, if you go there, there is only one screen that will support for the general cashier's transactions. General cashier main screen. Let's click. It's having the concept of opening balances and closing balances, and whatever the transaction will be done by the general cashier. So respectively, the summary will be appeared on the left side, that how much transaction received today and how much cash has been paid today, as well as what was the opening balance and the today total gross amount, today total net amount, and the closing balance. And at the end of the day, after doing all the transactions, then the end of the day procedure is this, that you have to press this button, then the reports general cashier register will be created. By doing each transaction, the voucher will be printed. In terms of this, that it supports voucher, the print it supports the printing format of the vouchers while doing the receiving vouchers, as well as the payment vouchers. If you are paying any cash against any expenses, so then the payment voucher will come, and then you can take the receiver signature over it. So this is very user friendly and simple procedure to how to use this application. But before going to start this thing, just going to give one theoretical concept that how it works. For the general cashier, basically there are 3 GLs required in the support of the general cashier module. One we call the GC control account, which will be linked with this module. Then this module will be activated, linked with the GC module, and no entries will be allowed in GL module. Yes. And then when this GL will be linked with the GC module, then if you will try to use the same GL, you will try to do any transaction against the same GL in the GL module, the system will not allow you, because whatever the opening balance and closing balance of this module on daily basis, it will only concern with the general cashier, and it will be managed as per the transaction done under this module. The second GL is GC clearance account, or you can understand it as a bridge account, where for instance, I'm giving the best example. When you will have the short of the outstanding short of the balance, then you can in the procedure you used to go to the accounts payable side or the financial controller side, and then they do they provide the checks to you against the petty cash float. So for that check, when it means your bank will be credited and your GC control account will be debited. So what in general they will do it, if it will be handled by accounts payable, so he will make the PJV, and in PJV he will link GC clearance account, and then he will make the check and release the check against this account. So this account will be debited from the AP side. Or in other way, if your financial controller is directly giving you the check, or directly doing the credit of the bank and debit your this account, so he can also pass the JV in GL module, and he can credit the bank there, and respectively GC clearance account will be debited in general ledger module. So then when you are in need to take these things, then you have to use this account as a first transaction in your module, and because there are only 2 terminologies will be appear in your screen, either pay or receive. So you will receive the amount from this account into your module. So then this account will be credited and your GC control account will be debited. GC transfer account is also serve as a system bridge account only if from the GC module, if you are paying directly to any supplier, or if you are taking money from any client of the AR in the if while standing in the GC module, then this account will work as a bridge account. In terms of flow structure, in the first session I have already mentioned this thing, that GC is the supportive screen from where whatever the transaction you are doing, it can hit to the AR module, it can hit to the AP modules also. If for instance, if you are standing in the GC module, so if you, and you there is a instruction that you are supposed to give any cash to the supplier, so you can take the API supplier from here, and you can pay it from the GC module itself, and respectively the debit note will be created in AP site, and vice versa it will be handled for the account receivable side. So whatever the activities you are dealing with the cash in the GC module, so those activities after the day end, it will be served as a one transfer voucher, and it will be passed to the GL module. So on daily basis, one transfer voucher will be transferred to the GL side. Same like bank reconciliation also, whatever the activity is being done in the accounts payable side, in account receivable side, and in GL side also. So if when you are passing the JV and you are using the bank GLs, so all those activity will fall to the bank reconciliation modules. So these two modules are basically the supporting modules of the accounting system. Now you can see I have the opening balance, and today is 21st, and after 21st I have started my transactions. The first transaction I have done it against the general ledger, so I use the GL, the same. Let me add row. So you have the three criterias: general ledger, receivables, payable. So if I will select payable, then here I can see the accounts parties, which I can select it, and then on the right side I will take the decision. I will either I am paying or receiving, so respectively the transaction will be done. For the general cashier, it seems like this is the single entry system, because here he is only thinking about to handle the cash, either he is paying or receiving. Respectively, the another entry is hitting to the general GC control account, and that this is the GC control account, where you can see the out balance is this one for today balance, and at the end the closing balance will become like this after doing the transactions. General ledger, selecting any GL. Against transportation charges, I wish to pay. $500, I am paying it. Save it. Then the payment voucher will come. We'll take the print and take the. I will put my signature here, and I will take the receiver signature here. So same like this, I will keep the record of the entire day, whatever the cash I am giving to the number of staff as per the routine expenses. In the same way, giving one more example, and because this general cashier module, of course, this is the very simple way how to receive or pay the cash, but this general cashier module will be used for basically it will be in the hotels, it will be used for the two purposes. The first one is for the front office cash sale. For this thing you have to just understand one thing, that in general ledger, in chart of account, you have one section of the cash, that front office cash and GC control account and any other IOU cash and any other types of cash GLs are there. So you have to understand one thing, that for you have one particular GL for the front office cash, that one is for front office cash sale. So what happens for the entire day, whatever the transaction done in the front office in the F&B side, so after the night audit, all the cash uh, and the cash envelopes will be handed over outlet wise. It will be handed over to the general cashiers, and they are supposed to deposit to the bank. So they can do one thing, that on the everyday morning they can open this screen, and for whatever the envelopes they have received, they created as many lines here, from which outlet, by which person, they will put into the narrations, and they will mention. Let me select the air GL. So front office cash sale, you will define it, because just assume from the front office module, when the transaction will be transferred to the general ledger, it will debit the front office cash sale. But from here, you will show that you are receiving the amount in terms of GL you are taking from the front office cash sale. But let me take the actual GL. Just understand this one. From the F&B envelopes I am taking out from the, so I will take that GL, and here I am mentioning the receiving and mentioning the amount 2000 I received it. Coffee shop cash sale by Ali, and whatever the envelope reference number, anything, so I can put it here for the record. So this is the receiving, I have done it from here. The same way from the any other outlet, so the same GL I will use it. For the strength cash sale by John, $5,000. And now the same amount, 7,000, I am going to deposit into the bank. If any short over or over amount, any short amount or over amount, and I want to mention into the GL, so the differences I will put into the cash short and over. That GL I will use it, because I have to make it balance. My opening balance and closing balance should be same. Just assume this is the routine practice of the general cashier. First they will collect all the envelopes from the sale side, and they are supposed to deposit that one. So they have to mention this envelope wise transaction here, and the last transaction they will have to mention for the bank. So the bank GL they will use it here. And just as an example, I am taking one bank, 7,000. So in the 7,000 I am showing pay, because I am depositing into the bank. Sales, 7,000. So it becomes equal, because whatever I received, the same I have paid it, so debit and credit will be become equal. So then it will not affect to my opening balances and closing balances. On the bank side, of course, automatically, because reference ID is not configured here, so the reference ID will also appear here. You are supposed to mention the date when the bank will be held, the any voucher number, anything you can mention it here, and then you will press save button. Because if you will not follow this thing, then it will not hit to the bank reconciliation module. So now it is done. So the payment receipts, there are two payment receipts, 500 and 200 for the day. Payment voucher when you deposit into the bank. So this is also for your record, you have deposited as much amount today to the bank. After doing the transactions, you are supposed to press end of the day. Then the last saving will be again printed. You close it or ignore it. Let's close it. General cashier reports. All the cashier reports are available here. The cashier register, cashier day book. There are different formats. You can take it. So this is the format which you will carry it as the cashier day books. Same like cashier register, and even in register you have two formats. One is summarized and one is detailed. For the period the register, the only difference is it will come with period wise, so you can define the period and respectively you will get the as much detailed data. For instance, for the 1 month you will take it and it will come to you, and here it will give you the summarized figures. So these are the important reports for the general cashiers. Hope it will surely support for your routine operation of the general cashiering. Now let me move towards the bank reconciliation. As I have already mentioned, that bank reconciliation also supports you for where it will give you the screen where all the transactions done in accounts payable side and accounts receivable side, where you have used your bank while taking the payment or issuing the payment, releasing the payment from the account payable side. So respectively all those transactions will directly hit to your bank ID, and all those transactions will be available and will be appear in the screen here when you define the period. So with respect to that period, all transactions will be appear here. And just from the general ledger side, if you are using the reference document ID, the type, reference number and date, then for sure those transactions will also be appear, same like in general cashing side. So at the end of the month, what is the procedure? You are supposed to take the bank statement. You can get the bank statement first and then sit here on this screen, bank reconcile bank statement, and then select your bank, from what bank you have taken the statement. For instance, I am giving the example of Standard Chartered, and just assume in the physical bank the amount is like this, reconcile up to, you can mention the last month 31st, the bank, the last month as per the bank statement date, and as per the bank statement closing. So you have to mention only this thing, and you are selecting reconciliation, search. So all the transactions will be appear on the left side. Could be possible the some transaction is not still appearing in the bank, might be appearing in the next month. So you can by default you will select all, and whatever the transaction is not available in the bank statement, you can uncheck those transactions. And yes, some other transaction like cash withdrawal, direct cash withdrawals, direct cash deposit in the banks, those will also not be appear here if you didn't do any past entry in the system. So for those all missing entries, the system is also giving you on the right side, either you will go to general ledger again and pass the bank vouchers and then come back again here, or in other way you can also save as an incomplete save, and later on you will come and recall that incomplete save and then save it. And the third option is this one, you will from here cash withdrawal, cash deposit, if payment dishonor. So if this sort of activity done which is not appearing there, so you can select it from here. For example, cash withdrawal done by the owners, so that's why the difference is coming, and that was 34,400. Just giving one example. So see, this is the closing balance. So from here I am showing the cash withdrawal, so it will credit the bank respectively. This amount will come here. Then what GL, against what GL this transaction is done, you will mention that thing, put the reason, and put the date. So it will also pass the JV respectively, and it will affect the bank, and at the end of the result, your this amount and this amount will become same. Then system will allow you to save. Then it means the bank has been reconciled. After the reconciliation, the last reconciliation will be appear here, and the last reconciliation date. Sometimes what happens, you are doing the next month reconciliation, but then you realize might be you have done any mistake in the last reconciliation. You can come here, select the bank details, everything in the same way, and then you have to select reverse last. You have to select this option and press save. So what will be happen, the last reconciliation which you have done it, all it will be reversed, and all those transactions will again appear here, because whatever selection you will do it here, it will be just disappeared then. So this is the way you can do the bank reconciliation with your actual with your system transactions with your actual bank statement. And then you go to the report sites. The bank position reports will be very helpful for you. Let's select bank positions, select the bank, then it will give you the bank position in terms of the transactions in the system. As per the reconciliation, what is the record summaries, all it will give to you. See, so this is the perfect bank reconciliation report, which you will take it after doing the reconciliation with the actual bank statement. You can take this print with summary or in the detail format also. Bank position as per reconcile. You can also take the bank code wise, you can take the check register from here also. From this module you can easily handle and maintain your all bank transactions and do the proper bank reconciliation. Thank you so much.